PGI's the best to do it. My squad stay fluid. When it comes to breaking barriers, we blow it straight through it. Greatness, we prove it. Never will we lose it. I'm building up an empire. Switches, not Lucius. Hands up high if you're down for the team. When it comes to getting cream, we get it by any means. Grew up with a plan and a dream. From serving fixes to fiends to music and movie screens. And now the money is clean.
That was one of the best. That was the best Robins that I ever come across.
You picked the right clips to put in that joint.
Yeah, she had me crying laughing. I'm like, no. I'm like, what?
I feel it in my bones. I'll hold on, can't let go. I know it's the only road for me. Go ahead, send your drones. No bombs will destroy this home. One day you'll see this house I built for me.
This is my house, it came with the key. Brick by brick, built for me. All the nights that I put in work while you stayed asleep. Now I'm somebody who would kill the beat, an ill MC. And well, I go will the beast, unleash the artillery. Like my brother with an M16, the Marine. He taught me when your back's to the wall and you feel that heat. You're not quitting, we gotta be on top of the industry. The high diggity dog, you motherfuckers, I'll be killing them off like Oswald. When he shot Kennedy, the semi-automatic hit him like a Glock 17. Eliminate the enemy, you're never ever to be ahead of me. No reaching the pedigree of a level 3 felony. Oh no, serenity, my flows could readily bulldoze. Motherfucker, you was supposed to write when there wasn't no hope in life. Used to rap at the open mic.
And I've been grinding all night and day, bruh, just doing what I can.
Okay, my name is Azheenyte. Well, my name is Azheenyte Williams. My name is Azheenyte. My name is Azheenyte. And this Azheenyte game is a game changing lives one game, 1 pound at a time. And how was it for me growing up? Well, life for me was like it was pretty good, man. For some, when they saw it from the outside, they thought it was like gravy all the time. But I was in a single parent home. My mom was amazing. One of the most perfect people I've ever seen in my life. Like, that's the first person I've ever seen. Sorry about that fumble, but for me growing up, it was pretty interesting, man. I was a different kid. I was quiet, trying to find myself between 7 and 10. Originally, I'm out of Bronx, New York, but discovered at the age of 7 that my mom and dad separated. So she ended up moving down to a place called Quincy, Florida, man. So I grew up in Quincy, Florida, and that was during the time that I was trying to find out who I was. Didn't know my dad at the time. I ended up meeting my dad around the age of 10. And it was like we never lost a page in that, though, because most people, when they don't see the dad, it's like, this is a stranger. So I never lost what I had with him, because I never gave up on the thought that I had him. So that alone made me different in a sense, because I never had to question who he was or where he was from, how I did that. So the moment I found out I was born in New York, I immediately disassociated myself with what I was learning, where I was. So that kind of made me different. So people would think something was wrong. People would think, oh, he's too quiet. Why this? You know how they start to like diagnose you with this and that. So for a period of time, that's what led me to learning things that I didn't know. So I started discovering things about myself through his history, finding out other things that I would do in the future. And as I was coming up, I began to play, I found myself liking music. So I started playing the trumpet around about 12 years old. I say around 11, 12. So during the summers, we would go visit him. So my natural talent, I discovered at the age of 8, is I'm an artist. So charcoal art is something I fell in love with. I started digging into charcoal art, but my mom was like, you gotta stick to one thing. But it was just a part of me. It was like, if I hear about it, I need to check it. There's something I need to dig into, because I feel like I can take that and make it something else. But everybody else around you is like, what is that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. That's actually I think it's a lie. I think jack of all trades you should be, because if you know more than one trade, you can't do them all. But if you specifically work on one, it'll supply what you need to make the other one great. So it's like I figured out that art was one thing, so honed in on that. And by the age of 15, 16, okay, my mom, I have a twin sister. Okay. I skipped a little bit on that right there. I have a twin sister, man, and 2 brothers. And my brother was a football player. Couldn't play football. I was a buck 15 in high school. So I discovered track and field. So my thing was, the way my brother would play football at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, because he wanted to get out, I was running at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to get out. So people would laugh at the running. Why is he always running? So track and field was one of my things, man, and ended up being surrounded by true champions. They were like, I'll be honest with you, in high school, even though I had like that show Stranger Things, that was my crew. I had homeboys that was like just like me. I ended up finding a couple people that were just like me. I can name them, and we still talk to this day, but it's only through Facebook. Cedric Watson, Calvin Bates, and Marcus Reed. We the biggest nerds in the group, man. And then I used to have a problem with the nerd thing, but my mom told me if it wasn't for nerds, you wouldn't have a car. If it wasn't for nerds, you wouldn't have a cell phone. If it wasn't for nerds, you wouldn't have that TV you got, because a nerd built it all. So that's when I really honed in on what I wanted to do. So track and field became my first love. Even though art was a born talent, track and field was my way out. Yeah, the name Azhhenyte, my dad was the first one to give it to me. He, because I used to do my artwork, and I used to always talk about how I'm gonna sign this, what would I put. My original name was Anthony. I couldn't stand the name. I don't know, at the age of 7, 8 years old, I just didn't like it. It was too common. And in New York, my family would call me Man. In Florida, my family would call me Amp. Right? So I had Man and Amp. So, but my dad would call me Azhhenyte. And one of my best friends, bro, 19, it was, I can't go to the year yet, but my year in high school, going back to the track and field days, one of my best friends, Ferris Carter, best friend in the world, man. He was the guy that ran all the miles with me. I was doing 80 miles a week, man. I never rode, I'm gonna say this right here, I never rode a school bus to school. Ever. Ferris and I had a chance to see the movie about Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens was my first hero. No, Shaka Zulu was my first hero, but Jesse Owens was one of my heroes. And we watched that movie, and we heard about how he used to walk miles to go to work, right? Because of how it was back then and this whatnot. Living where we were, my elementary school was a mile away. I walked every day. The middle school was a half mile away. I walked every day. The high school was 4 miles away. Walked every day. The tradition we did from kindergarten, middle to high school, walked every day. When I met Ferris, he would literally come from Friendship, which was, this is in Quincy, he would literally come from Friendship, which was 5 miles away. He would run to my house that morning, get straight, and we would walk to school. And with him, while we were walking, he said, we got this idea. So Games and Game wasn't born then, but the idea of us having our own track team, having our own talk show, because we was, Howard Stern was the thing back then, right? So we was like, whoa, he's actually the godfather of fucking podcasts. Like, be honest with you. And anybody who does podcasts, if you don't know Howard Stern, I don't know what you're doing. But we used to walk to school, and he was like, you know what? From now on, man, we're gonna have some shoes. He used to say it, bro, you're gonna have some shoes, man. You're gonna have this, you're gonna have that. I said, man, you talking. Don't worry about it. He was the type, if we had a drink, he came to the party with Coca-Cola. He never drank. He used to always tell me, don't drink, don't do it, man, don't do it. You're gonna ruin your track career, this and that. And he and I had earned a scholarship to the same school. So I graduated in 95. Was supposed to come out in 94, but I ended up staying back in the 7th grade That was during I was rebelling because I couldn't be with Pops. But graduated in 95, and they didn't give me a roommate because he was supposed to come he was going to be my roommate. So they didn't give me one. And 2 years later, he ended up passing away he was driving to, what do you call it? The Classic. It was FAMU versus Bethune-Cookman. And he passed away in a car accident, him and his girlfriend. And a lot of people don't know how hard that hit, but the Azhhenyte really stuck then because every time I wrote something, I wrote it. If I drew something, I put it in there. If I had to hide it, I put it in there. It was like but he saw everything that we're doing now. And I just never let go of it. And a lot of people don't know, I stopped running for an entire year, stopped drawing for an entire year, until one day I just got up, went for a run, and ever since then, he's been running with me.
With my thoughts and steadily I'm contemplating. The Lord scream from above, it's hard to hear just what he's saying. I'm a psycho with a schizo conversation.
Now that, the shots with the music, this and that, okay, all of that begins back in 2000. I was living in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for 6 years, man. And so I moved to Atlanta. It was around 99. And that's when I found my love for music. So back to piggybacking on what I was saying about how if I don't know anything, I look it up. And I was like, well, since I learned how to play the trumpet, I can read music. I can make music. So back then, it was, I can't remember the program. It was the first program I ever picked up. And I just started making music, and I was like, hey, you know what? It was around the time I was playing Final Fantasy and stuff like that. So I was messing around with stuff then. Anything that I would have put out then was absolute trash. I'll be real with you. So a lot of the stuff that I was working with then was garbage. But then I started seeing these trick shot guys back in 2000. It was the Phase Boys. It was a lot of those guys I was following. And I was like, I know they're great, but I can do that better. So I was like, as time grew on with the music, I would make my own beats, just simple beats, just to put something with it and see if I could catch it. So my ear for music, I would actually stream for an hour, knowing that I've heard the song already, so all I need is 15 shots. So I would stream for an hour, get 15 snipes, and be like, all right, babe, I got a song. I'm going to go ahead and put these in there, right? So yeah, I got my 15 shots. I'm done with the game. Yeah. And then I would go and edit because I knew I was going to get them. Mm-hmm. You know, so, and then I got better and better and better. And I would just hear a song and boom, I already got the track for it. I said, I already know what I want to do with that.
Because when I was watching them play them jakes, when he first showed up, I was like, yo, that jakes, I was wanting him to do one of our beats. Like, he was like, pow!
Oh, I'm already working.
You know I can hold me from these problems I'm about to rectify. Feeling like sleep paralysis, you ain't going nowhere, you wondering why.
I started streaming in 2015, man. A lot of people don't know that because back when you're not affiliate, whatever you do disappears. Especially if no one's watching it. It's not until you hit affiliate that videos stay up long enough. So until you hit that threshold. So right around 2015, man, I was a huge fan of Dr. Disrespect, bro. And if you can look at, if anyone knows him, you can see where I tailored. I knew I'm not a better streamer. I'm a better streamer. I'm going to say it like that. I'm not a better streamer. I'm a better streamer. Because he operates with a team. I do it all myself. The only team I got is my ace in the corner over there. And so I used to look up to him, watch his stuff, and I just knew I was going to be able to do my own thing. Because he was standing out in a way that nobody else felt like they could do it. So I wanted to step out there and show that it could be done. So Dr. Disrespect was somebody that I really looked up to, man. And I was getting close to getting an opportunity, I felt like. But then he ended up moving platforms. Scratch that idea. It'll never happen because I'll never leave the platform unless it dies. But at the same time, we got Kick that came up. Everybody's asking if we're going to that. Not going to do it unless I have to. I don't plan to, don't want to. But streamers that I really look up to, Summit's my favorite. Summit 1G is my favorite streamer. If I ever had a chance to play with him, yeah, it would be crazy. But some of my favorites, I've already had a chance. Like Rampage Granny, she's a mod on my channel. We call her the First Lady because she's the first female to ever sub and follow to the channel. So she's been with us since day one. And she's out in the Netherlands. So shout out to my Netherlands family, the Norway family over there. But they mod my channel pretty good. They've been by my side ever since day one. Outside of Summit, there really isn't. Cole Carnage, he's an old guy like myself. And that's about it. I watch a lot of them, but if I had a chance to play with anybody, it'd be those. Okay, my preferred games are usually RPGs. I say RPGs. I like FPS games because there's an itch that I have to scratch. Like if I want to shoot somebody in the face, bro,
which happens sometimes.
Which happens sometimes, you know. But yeah, that's my favorite games are RPGs. But I've come to a point where I've fallen in love with what they call top-down games. So top-down games are when you have that peripheral where you're looking down on it, not directly, but at an angle. So I like top-down games, but as far as all my games, I'm such a variety, like from sim racing to, I don't know, as long as it's if it's a linear story and it's too short, I don't like it. I'm falling more in love with indie games. I think my love for underground music is putting me on underground developers. So I'm finding myself playing games that aren't AAA. Because nowadays a AAA game can't even make it 2 weeks without being flopped. So the indie gamers who have a small studio, 2 or 3 people, they're actually doing better. So I would say the hard games from indie, a lot of the RPGs that they put out, and then a lot of the guys introduced me to games that I would have never seen or never looked at if I don't search myself. Other than that, I would say RPGs. Preferred? My friends hate me for this one, man, because I'm always the sniper in the group. I hate close quarters combat, like real talk, unless I have to. But I will not suit my individual up for close quarters combat. Most of my homeboys like SMGs, ARs. Me, I'm DMR sniper, 100%. If it's not in the game, I don't want to play it. So it's like I'm so straight up. I'm straight up, man. So it's like if I got a choice, it's sniper, man. And DMRs, I'm falling in love with those. Right now, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm playing this game called Ground Branch. And there's an EBR in that game, a DMR. Developers, put that shit in every game. That fucking gun is fire, 100%. But yeah, that's my preferred. Oh, I play at 8,000. I play at 8,000 DPI, man. My homeboys is getting on me like, bro, how the hell you play at 8,000 DPI? When you watch me game, my mouse barely moves. Like, I got an overhead cam so they can see it. I play at 8,000 DPI. I started streaming on PlayStation. So we evolved. Like, man, that's why I said when you hear our story, man, I'm gonna say. So I started on PlayStation. And on the PlayStation, of course, we in love with controls. But a lot of that footage you see, I had figured out how to make the keyboard work with the PlayStation. I started with a Tartarus V2. But they had this thing that they were calling it a cheater's thing. It's not, but it's a left-handed, it's a half a keyboard. And your mouse will be here. So I taught myself how to play at a 90-degree angle, and I use a 60% keyboard now. So yeah, I play at 8,000 DPI, bro.
Yeah, I'm 400.
Yeah? Yeah, that's what everybody says. Like, bro, how the hell? Yeah, I play at 8,000. Bro, my hand barely moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I hit a corner.
Is you like a super low in-game sense?
Super low. Yeah. You have to change it in-game for it to match up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, say I'm like a 400, and usually I'm like a 10 or 11.
Yeah, I play at 8,000. I was trying to figure out where. When I first started with mouse and keyboard, I started at 8, like everybody says. Then I went down. I was like, nah, this game horrible. I played like 2-3 hours, and I was like, I just didn't feel right. Yeah, I'm going all over the place. So, and then 8,000, I was like flying across the screen. So my homeboy said, "Yo, you should get this aim. It's a program you get that you can just practice your aim." And I used to watch Summit do it all the time. Again, one of my favorites. I used to watch him practice before he would play CS:GO. I was like, man, this man a beast, bro. He'd go in there just hitting targets. And while I'm watching his stream over here on the screen, I'm in the same thing, hitting target. I'm practicing with him.
Yeah.
And after a little while, I started raising the DPI. I put it at 7, it didn't feel right. I put it at 72, it didn't feel right. I put it at 75. Every time I pulled the trigger, I was hitting something. I put it at 8,000. Don't run across the screen.
Cut right there.
Don't.
Been on the grind for a minute now. It won't stop.
This is my beautiful wife, Adrian. Yeah, my rib, my better half.
Yeah, you can call me AJ.
Yeah.
AJ Williams.
Just use that as fuel on my fire. And I'ma keep coming anyway, tell them that.
Okay, so I tell you, I love this man. I'm always gonna say that.
Yeah.
But when he first came out with Games and Games, he wanted to set himself apart as the Black Punisher. And so right here, this is copyrighted. So it's not like he can actually, you know what I'm saying, take,
Okay.
you know, yeah. We can't really take that, but we can also take the actual, make the image a little bit ours, you know? So since he loves Black Punisher and he loves the skeleton, because this comes from Don't Tread on Me, the military and the special forces. And if he was in the military, he'd be special forces. I mean, he'd be sniping the shit out of everybody, right? So I was just like, this is perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'd be watching him like, yeah, boy, get him, baby, get him. You know what I'm saying? I'd be all hyped and shit. He'd be like having me like a control in the back of the green screen. You know what I'm saying? But with this is his Father's Day gift. So he had told me, I gotta bring something, babe, for this. You know, we gotta
Right.
have some drink or something. And he said, I wish I had a tote bag. And sure enough, I said, do you want your Father's Day gift early? And he said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And literally,
Just got it today.
because
he
basically gave me the motivation to start my boutique, online boutique, which is Sister Soldier Affirmation Boutique. And this is where I make all of the stuff from. So his passion, his dedication to his craft, he has spun a creativity, a spark in me that now he has Games and Games, we have the boutique. We also are going to start our own coaching and consulting business, Be Your Worth. So yes, if the plug is sistersoldierllc.com, that's SISTA soldier, spelled soldier, because I am a no limit soldier, LLC.com. And this is where the creativity comes. So anything, you can bring a vision to me, I can bring your vision to life, and that's what I did for my husband.
Yeah.
Next question is, so what's give me one of your favorite stream moments.
My favorite stream moments? It's actually two of them, man. I would have to say there was a I don't know if you've seen the video. I can't remember whose song I put to it, but the main one. We'll talk about the. No, it wasn't Hobson.
Okay.
It wasn't Hobson. I never used Hobson's because I told you I messaged.
But we love Hobson.
I love it. I told you, man. So I never received anything back from that, but I did a Ryan Upchurch one, and I got a like from Jelly Roll. That was crazy. I did. It was the one with bitch.
Your ass. I ain't trying to hear about a damn fist fight. You ain't breaking glass in a dish fight. Motherfuckers going nuts when they see
see a rapper this white, killing everything in sight. This might cause a bunch of violence. Ask me if I give a fuck about a riot. I'm just trying to shed light on my people that they trying to keep quiet. Be silent. Fuck that ain't happening, especially when this old cracker ass cracker rapping. What's cracking? I'ma make this pop. I make history, you make hip hop. Bitch, stop or you get shot. Rob for your wristwatch. Ride with my guys, you gon' end up in a ditch. Why?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. And but my biggest moment though is when Harris Heller from YouTube found my channel, man.
Let's move on to Anthony Williams here because he's done a couple things that I really like. First one is super obvious. He put a ton of time and effort into the screen situation. I feel like he's supposed to be in the middle of the circle desk, like that Ron Swanson desk, but I mean, I could be wrong. It looks to me like you've probably got a pretty tiny streaming space, and using a green screen to do something cool like this is awesome. Especially since a lot of people, when they use green screens, they get really lazy with it. They're like, oh, if I'm using a green screen, I don't have to do any work. I just green screen myself into the corner. You put a lot of effort into yours. But the big thing that blows me away that you did is how good, this is a little Logitech webcam. I thought when I first saw this, based on the color and the dynamic range of your image, I figured you were using a little mirrorless camera. I don't think I've ever seen a little Logitech camera look this good and this vibrant, which is obviously a product of solid lighting, which you've got up here and potentially even another one over here, but also maybe, I assume, some color correction inside of OBS. It's possible that this screenshot just looks really good, so let's take a look at his stream, see if we can find a clip, see what it looks like live. No,
we lost the stream.
That's
for like
just what his camera looks
not
like.
To panic anymore.
Yeah, dude, you did a phenomenal job on making that camera look good. Solid stream though, man. 5 stars.
And Harris Heller from YouTube. I had one of my friends out in Australia, bro. I was asleep.
Meji. Yeah.
Meji's another great streamer. He hit me up on Twitter.
He sure did.
And he said, bro, you just got put in a Harris Heller video, man. I was like, what?
As one of the top 12.
I remember that.
I was freaking out about
12.
that, man. So that video received 900,000 views.
I remember that.
He brought 3,000 people over to my channel.
Yep.
And ever since then, that was my biggest moment, and I knew then that I could do more because if he was watching,
right,
somebody else
is watching.
It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life. It is the movement in your mind. You're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. New year, new me. New year, new me.
With it,
yep.
Knew the goal, which is how that video was birthed.
Yep.
A lot of that video was shot here in VA.
Yep.
Shout
out to AmFam.
Yeah, shot here in VA. Me going from 130, 32 up to 157, show ready. Yep. All that happened here in VA. Never lost sight of it. And then the Tidewater happened. 7.
It
was on 7.
7 is a number of completion.
Right.
We were in number 707.
Our room was 707.
His card, well, not his card down there was number 7.
Was number 7, and then on top of that, I was in seven competitions, 2 shows one day, placed 2 first, 4 seconds, and 1 third.
In his first show.
In my first show. Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Lord, come on, quick.
Yep.
Yes, you on camera right now, section. That's you calling. Love you, man. Sorry.
They try to keep us out when we break it down barricades. Lifestyle so fake, they trying to feel it betrayed. Niggas playing in these shoes and they keep it in the arcade.
Boom, September.
September? Yeah. All right. So as far as where you can find me at, it's Azheenyte on all handles: Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube is Azheenyte Games and Games. I think I'm gonna eventually change all of it to Games and Games, but right now it's Azheenyte on all. That is my name. So when you ask what's your real name, that's it. So as far as the future, what's coming up? September, man. September's huge.
Very huge.
Very huge. We're just stay tuned. Just tuned. September is gonna be huge. We're already working on what's coming for it, and but yeah, just stay tuned.
Just
for
stay
it.
tuned. Okay.
And when you're normally I drop tidbits to my community, so if you drop out of stream, you're more than welcome to have that info. But right now, yeah, we want to keep a scratch at it. Yeah.
Standing by. The enemy is falling back. Don't let up. Friendly UAV on station. Our UAV is in the area. We've got him on the run. Keep it up.
Who is this masked man? Who is he?
Reloading.
Who is he?
Maintaining ground. Don't let up. Deploying vehicle. Friendly UAV online.
Oh my God!
Cruise missile standing
Get him
by.
out of here! Yeah!
Friendly cruise missile deployed.
Oh my God! I'm in that bag, boy!
Our UAV
Where you going?
is in the area.
Where you going?
More strikes.
Where you going, boy?
Friendly UAV on.
Hands up high if you're down for the team. When it comes to getting green, we get it by any means. Grew up with a plan and a dream, from serving fixes to fiends to music and movie screens, and now the money is clean. Sitting at the top, it won't stop. Can't get right, still got the game locked. With the mic, I'm clutch like Steph with the rock. Keep shooting till my life got 3 zeros on the clock. I'm out.
And DMR, okay.
But you
Yeah.
know, that's kind of a good thing, though. If
'Cause
you
they
got a
used to-
squad that you're rocking with and
Right.
y'all are connected,
Right.
you want to have somebody that can do that long
Right,
range.
right.
And he be
I'm
going
that
like
guy.
Short range.
I'm that guy.
I'm the SMG guy. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Clear, I'm running up and clearing.
Yeah, so I'm clearing your path while I'm on the
Everybody
building.
has roles. Like when we play together, I'm a reviver.
Right. Right.
You will not die on my watch. I
Right,
will always
right,
come back and
right.
get you.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm a gunner. Like, I'm in there.
I'm that guy, bro. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. And some of them get mad with me. Well, I'm not putting it down,
Hey,
man.
tell them find a way to beat it. Know
Right.
what I'm saying? They
Right.
get mad 'cause
Right.
they beat it.
Right. And I love it when they call me a hacker. Go ahead.
Hey, I see
That's a
you. Yeah.
compliment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a compliment. Call me that.
I seen one of your streams, or one of your clips on your YouTube.
Uh-huh.
The 3 snipe.
Yeah.
That jank was hard.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
one after another.
Oh, when I did that?
That jank was, bro. I mean, it was on BTS. I mean, it's right there, bro.
Yeah, no, I got some hate. I got some hate comments then, bro. Everyone was mad, boy.